Thanks for joining us again this week on Agenda 2030. I hope your week has been great. I am Toyin Kamiang John. As part of concerted efforts towards achieving Goal 5 of the Global Goals for Sustainable Development, the UN Women in Abuja launched their global report tagged Turning Promises into Action, Gender Equality in the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development. The report spotlights inequalities and challenges faced by women. It also identifies gaps and opportunities for gender equality in the Agenda for Sustainable Development. Goal 5 of the Sustainable Development Goals (SDGs) mandates all countries to work towards gender equality, empowerment of women and girls, and end all forms of gender discriminations by the year 2030. At the public presentation of the report, which was well attended by development and government partners, civil society organizations, NGOs, MDAs, and states SDGs focal persons, the United Nations Women Representative in Nigeria and ECOWAS, Comfort Lamte, said the report highlights issues on centrality of gender equality in the achievement of all the 17 goals and policies needed to achieve them. Lamte highlighted gender targets to be accomplished by 2030 as set out in Goal 5, while urging all states to make gender equality implementation a priority.
It talks about promises, and I think it's important to pause a little bit and reflect on why the title of the report uses the word promises, turning promises into action. And the promise, as elaborated in the report, is the promise that the 2030 agenda holds for advancing women's rights. The promise that it holds for making sure that women and men everywhere can actually enjoy equality, peace, and human progress. In looking at the promise, I think the report also underlines the potential, because inherent in the report is the recognition of the potential that we have for advancing women's rights.
While speaking at the occasion, the Senior Special Assistant to the President on SDGs, Princess Adejoke Orilokwe Adefulire, lamented that 60% of the estimated 10.5 million out-of-school children in Nigeria are girls. She also noted that 35% of women and girls aged 15 and older were subjected to sexual violence by persons other than an intimate partner. Represented by the Secretary of Programs in the Office of the Senior Special Assistant to the President on SDGs, Laminu Waziri, the presidential aide, however, assured that her office is working with ministries, departments and agencies at the national and sub-national level to mainstream issues of gender as stipulated in the SDGs into policies and medium-term development plans.
Relatively, we are collaborating with development partners, organized private sector, as well as the wider civil society through established platforms to mobilize expertise and resources in support of the 2030 agenda. Through various programs, the Buhari administration is addressing the issues of poverty at the grassroots, and we must all put our hands on deck to support this laudable objective of the government. We will continue to prioritize programs and interventions that adequately mainstream gender at all levels of government. However, I must emphasize that institutional capacity is required at both national and subnational levels if we are to make meaningful progress in the implementation of the SDGs in Nigeria.
In the light of all these issues affecting women which were raised, panelists at the event made a strong case for greater inclusion of women in politics, the academia and other spheres of life. They opine that most times women are always at the receiving end of negative cultural practices in the society. They called for total elimination of all forms of violence against women and girls.
In terms of women political participation, we are working with the UN Women to make sure that we bring the voices of women to the highest level.
Our strategy for 2030 is to achieve 30% of female employees. Our policies and work ethics across our organization as well drives equal opportunity, equal wage, flexible hours, creche facilities, maternity and paternity leave, and gender diversity. On our board, for instance, at Lafarge Africa, we have 5 women, and I'm delighted to say on the EXCO as well. We have a number of CSR initiatives that we run as well, and I'm delighted to say that one of them in particular, which is our Lafarge Africa Literacy Competition, which we concluded just very recently, specifically insists that every single winner and every single participant across the entire 36 states in which we run the competition, specifically for children aged 9 to 13 years, has a girl child there.
Some of the panelists also harped on the need to monitor progress made in mainstreaming of gender equality in states, adding that the Child Rights Act also needs to be domesticated to achieve the set.
Violence against persons with prohibition on person has been passed at the federal level, but only 4 states have domesticated it. CRS, Child Rights Act, only 12 states, and if all these things are not domesticated, we cannot get these things right.
Some states who have successfully implemented the gender mainstreaming were given an opportunity to present their progress report. They were also honored for their effort at mainstreaming gender equality in their policies. The states include Anambra, Akwa Ibom, Ekiti, and Bauchi. Presenting the awards to the state's focal persons, the United Nations Women Representative in Nigeria, Comfort Lamte, said the honor is a call for action for other states to follow suit.
The state is paying the interest to make sure that our women are empowered, to make sure that our women could be on their own, to make sure that our women have a voice in the society.
2,322 poor and vulnerable women receive 5,000 naira stipend monthly to reduce the level of poverty to some extent. And within the state, 12 out of the 16 LGAs are covered in the cash transfer program. 4 LGAs are yet to recover, and efforts have been intensified to cover the other local governments.
The state, through the Ministry of Agriculture, has provided permanent job for 855 women and youths. How were they able to achieve this? They were able to achieve it by training them in agricultural skills and as well giving them equipment. They were given permanent job in the sense that we are giving processing machines. With that, they have earned permanent job. And temporary job in the sense that are giving agricultural equipment, which is seasonal.
With the presentation of reports and other actions being put in place, it is expected that the trust for gender equality that will ensure full participation of women in politics, economic activities, and end all forms of violence against women and girls will receive a new boost. One of the anchor pillars upon which the successful implementation of the Sustainable Development Goals rests is strategic partnership across the goals. Global leaders, while adopting the development framework, recognize the role of all stakeholders in the public and private sectors, as well as the civil society organizations, in addressing the issues raised in the goals, and which requires the attention of all for the dream of birthing the future that we all want to be realized. It was in the light of this that they joined forces with the Arise Women, a faith-based non-governmental organization committed to accelerating nation building through the empowerment of women in the society, and has impacted, inspired, and encouraged over 50,000 women to achieve their potentials in furtherance of their interest. The Senior Special Assistant to the President on Sustainable Development Goals, Princess Adejoke Orelope Adefulire, emphasized the need to bring everybody on board in the quest to attain the SDGs.
Rights Women works for women in different areas. One, they work about on women empowerment, helping other women, widows, single parents, which is goal 5 of SDGs. They work on medical outreach, helping people fixing their health. They establish hospitals. Even in Abuja was commissioned today. They've done some in Lagos, and I'm sure that some other work is ongoing. So good health and well-being is goal 3 of SDGs. And it's very, very interesting to know that these things are very, very unique. And we talked about helping people, fixing children back to school, the out-of-school children are taken back to school, which is good for of SDG also. All these things are part of what we do, and they do using their connection as a pastor to teach people, especially the women, the way of God, how they can manage their family, they can keep the community together through peace and harmony, peaceful coexistence and all of that, which is also goal 16 of SDGs. They are training people on how to use their hands to work, which is gender inequalities, to reduce inequalities, which is goal 10. To providing food for those people on the street is also goal 1 and goal 2 of SDG. So when you look at all those things that Arise Women are doing, it tallies with what we are doing, and that's why we are associating with Arise Women. And also for every program they do, I try also to see how I can make myself available, so that if there is something that we can do together to scale up the activities and to make them more popular, so that more people can benefit from their good gestures and good work.
Convener of the group, Shiju Iluyomade, is optimistic that with careful and strategic empowerment of women in the society, the nation is more assured to stay on the path of progress in turn with the attainment of the SDGs.
Nigeria will continue to support the United Nations in all its efforts, including the attainment of the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development. I thank you.
Agenda 2030, showing on this channel. Agenda 2030, leaving no one behind.
As part of its effort to prevent the drawbacks found with the implementation of the Millennium Development Goals in Nigeria, the Office of the Senior Special Assistant to the President on Sustainable Development Goals mobilized over 400,000 core members across the country to champion the implementation of the SDGs in the country. The initiative has been yielding the desired results, with the SDGs champions leading the charge in their various localities. This set of advocates recently launched out to raise ambassadors for peace and unity in Nigeria. Goals 4 and 16 of the Sustainable Development Goals task countries and stakeholders to work towards ensuring quality education for all and putting in place processes that will ensure peace, justice and strong institutions that will work for benefit of all by the year 2030. And in line with the collective quest for Nigeria to provide quality education for her teeming and growing number of children and youths, as well as tackle the various forms of violence and abuse being meted out to vulnerable groups, more attention is being given to the two goals. A group of National Youth Service Corps NYSC members who have dedicated themselves to the task of disseminating core messages of Sustainable Development Goals brought students from some junior secondary schools in the Federal Capital Territory FCT together to speak to them on the need to be agents of peace and unity in the country. In addition, the NYSC SDGs advocates also organized a training and debate contest tagged I Speak Unity in Nigeria for the students as a way of making them imbibe the messages of the Sustainable Development Goals. Led by Ismail Tiaminu and Kalista Ijoma, the group believes that young people have the potential of being ambassadors of peace and unity in Nigeria if they are positively directed by making the people to imbibe the spirit of patriotism from when they are in school. They therefore assured that they will take the message of peace and unity to other schools across Nigeria, working with the Office of the Senior Special Assistant to the President on SDGs.
The target is that we want to take this project to virtually all the local governments in Nigeria, 774 of them. We will take it out from here, preach the unity of Nigeria, and we believe that before the next 5 years, we will have a better Nigeria, the Nigeria that we have. And another thing is, I was motivated when we come at SDGs. Strong institution, justice and peace. That is goal 16. It's something that I have passion for.
And then we have plans to sustain this. One of the plans we have to sustain this is to go and enact unity clubs all over the schools. We know that there are some schools that have the goal of uniting people If we cannot start up our own club, we are going to collaborate with other clubs in the school to make sure that the unity spirit is preached across the federation.
Speakers at the event also suggested that core values must be inculcated in Nigerian youths to ensure that there is peace in the country. The I Speak Unity Nigeria event also featured a debate on the topic Absence of Unity in Nigeria, the Greatest Challenge to National Development, and Patriotism Training in Secondary Schools, Panacea to Security Challenges in Nigeria. 6 secondary schools who participated include GSS Area 1, GSS Wuse Zone 3, GSS Tudunwada Zone 4, GSS Wuse Zone 5, GSS Jikwe, and GSS Zuba. Some of the students told Agenda 2030 TV how they intend to practice what they have learnt and how they will spread the message to their peers who were not part of the event.
I feel that this program is actually meant to catch them young, to imbue that sense of responsibility in the children, because children are the future leaders of tomorrow. I believe that if children can have patriotism in their mind, we can actually make Nigeria a better place, because we want to develop and build our country. Instead of saying, I want to go to another country, we will build our own country and make our country a better place.
Today's program is trying to bring people together, teach them about the benefits of unity in our country and how we can accept people no matter our religion, our tribe, our ethnic group, or wherever we come from.
This program is giving us the message that we should all be united. That without unity, we will fail in our strive to develop this country.
The main objective of the NYSC SDGs advocacy group is to visit schools, emphasizing on the importance of peace and unity to national development. And in Niger State, my colleague Desmond Utowen spoke with some of the SDGs champions who gave insight into their activities.
Niger State, precisely in Mina. I am with some core members of the Nigerian Youth Service Corps, and they are those ones who have been enlisted as the SDGs champions. They'll be doing some marvelous works here in Niger State to ensure that they communicate the SDGs to the people at the grassroots. And they've also been embarking on so many humanitarian activities. And I'll be talking to some of them, and they'll be giving us their perspective, how it has been being the champions of the SDGs in Niger State. Here with me is Adeze. How's your experience been as an SDGs champion, particularly working in Niger State here?
It's so wonderful, serious. Yes, despite the challenges, but man, it's the best thing I've ever experienced since I was born, because it gives me exposure. I happen to meet people I've not seen before. Because of the sensitization we've been going through and the goals of SDGs, is open up our mind, especially helping the people through SDGs. SDGs is the best, and I hope SDG continues, because but I don't see anything that can be better than SDG.
So you are optimistic, you are very happy that it's helping you to give development to the people, right?
Serious, that's how I've always been what I wish to be. Even after service, I'll still want to be in a situation whereby I'll be imparting life in my little way. But there's no SDG has a better goals. We as a core members is like a stepping stone for us, especially individuals have had that in mind of finding a way to impart lives. This is just a stepping stone, and I still hope and believe this will still continue even after our youth service.
Is there a particular program you are working on as an SDGs champion?
Yes, we collectively we are working on projects, but I as a person, I do to some things because I as a person I studied microbiology and microorganisms. I'm very serious with them. Due to their uniqueness, you can't see them with your eyes. So I found out one thing here is the high rate of cholera in the states, and the source of water here is not encouraging. Main source of water here that is very good is from their water board. I, as a person, as a graduate of microbiology, I'm looking at about the water and the way I can help them to make sure that they have a good water that is very good for consumption. And another thing I'm looking at is I met some girls in schools which I've gone, because as a person I love going around. I happen to go to some of the government schools where I found some little girls. I have to find out they don't even know how to take good care of themselves, what is called personal hygiene. Most of them, I'm so sorry to say this, use some materials instead of sanitary pad. I myself, I have this is my personal project I'm trying to work on, and I know I can only achieve that with a project or a fund supporting me. So I hope I will get a support from some NGOs, governments or private sectors that can come and help me out to carry out this project, to enlighten them with the support of people that already know this more than me, to help me fight on this, especially girl child, so that they will know how it is to take good care of themselves. Personal hygiene is the best, and as a woman, due to our body system that is open, it's very, very good for us to look into that. I want to use this opportunity to thank our mommy that came. Mommy, we thank you very much. You have been so wonderful to us. You have been there for. Without you, I don't think we, the core members, that the vanguard of SDGs, will still be here.
Okay, here we have with us also is the president of the SDG CDS group in Niger State. He will introduce himself better.
Okay, thank you very much. My name is Oboye Samuel. I'm the president SDG CDS group, Shanchaka local government in Mina. You know, it's been a pleasure being in the SDG CDS group. Right from where we were on camp, we were trained about SDG and what SDG entails. It entails, you know, affecting life, touching lives, and sensitizing people about how life is good. And SDG, as you know, is a global goal, 15-year goal that was initiated after MDG in 2015-2030. And what we are working towards is the actualization of these goals. And by 2030, that most of these goals should be actualized, even right now, right here in our country, Nigeria. And what we do basically in the SDGs group, we learn about these goals and we teach others about these goals, and also impart them on how they can work together. We can all work together for the actualization of this goal, because everybody has a part to play. And I also use this opportunity to appreciate the President Muhammadu Buhari, for sending the senior special advisor concerning sustainable development goals to these states, Mina, to sensitize us more about SDG, and also opportunity for us to know more and to have more zeal and passion for the actualization of these goals. So we say thank you very much. We really feel the impact, and we hope that we get more of your help and more of your support in working towards the actualization of these global goals. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Okay, here I have with me also is Ebere, one of the champions. Introduce yourself to Nigerians.
Okay, my name is Ebere Antoinette Uzuegbunam, and I'm presently the Vice President, SDG, Chachaga, Local Government, Niger State. Thank you.
So what have you been doing? How has it been as an SDG champion here in Niger State?
Well, being an SDG Vice President and also a member, the SDG has actually been a wonderful team. Like, it's a team of great minds, not just me, but in SDG we believe that we pursue one goal at a time. And not just that, we also support other goals. We come from different institutions. I came from Redeemers University, and being in Mina, we've done a lot of projects. We've done project on water and clean sanitation. We had to go to the marketplaces, we cleaned the markets, we gave out dustbins, and we've done a lot of projects. Even presently now, we're working towards going to secondary schools to teach them about water, to teach them about clean environments. And we've also helped our own partner to be able to fulfill his dream. On the World Cancer Day, I actually volunteered on his behalf. He's a member of SDG. So SDG in Mina, in Chachaga, we believe in collaboration. We believe in working with ourselves as a team and working individually, and we support ourselves in Chachaga. I want to say a very big thank you to our mother, Princess Adefilire. You are wonderful. Mommy has really tried, because she is beginning to touch the grassroots. And the wonderful thing is that the people of Niger State are very receptive to new things, to new developments. I'm a product of Race Foundation. I learned how to make beads with with rubber, to make beaded bags, to make flower vases. I really appreciate what Niger State is doing, and I really appreciate you, Mommy. God bless you. Thank you very much.
We are the SDG champions in Niger State. We support SDG. Join the campaign!
And that's our package for the week. Remember, you can always watch this program and other episodes by subscribing to our YouTube channels on youtube.com/Fresh News TV and youtube.com/Agenda 2030 TV. You can also watch the program live on Facebook. Just log on to www.facebook.com/FreshNewsNG and www.facebook.com/Agenda 2030 TV. Follow us on all our social media platforms at Agenda 2030 TV on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Remember to drop your comments and share with your contacts. Do use the hashtag Agenda 2030 and the hashtag Agenda 2030 TV. Thank you very much for being part of the program this week. I am Toyin Kamiang John. We will see you again next week. Until then, bye.